'cause everything's gonna be alright. 'Cause tonight we're gonna rock to the rhythm and blues. So we've got two versions: chord progression mystery, unusual fingering choices, dozens of cool guitar licks. Also, it's dark and I'm wearing glasses. Hit it! So chord progression first. Many of us would play it like this. Well, we're gonna rock to the rhythm. This is A, D, 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 and it's B, A, E, and back to A. So here in the end we have D with A in the bass, coming back to A. It is there on the Sonny Curtis version of the song, but Grady Martin and the A team, they don't play it. So many of us would play it this way and call it a day. But I have a feeling that something is missing there. Especially in the part where we are going from A to E and back to A. The thing is, in this song we have vocals, we have single note guitar lines, but we don't have rhythm guitar that would play any kind of chords. So then it happens, when a double bass plays some note, you may perceive it as a root note of a new chord, and that's what often happens. To complicate things even more, double bass is different in different verses. So in some verses it goes from A like this. 'Cause tonight we're gonna rock to the rhythm and blues. Then no doubts, we have only two chords in this part, A, E, back to A. But there are verses where double bass plays something different, like this. 'Cause tonight we're gonna rock to the rhythm and blues. And this note here, F sharp, it really sounds like a root of one more chord, F sharp chord. Let's try to play it with F sharp. 'Cause tonight we're gonna rock to the rhythm and blues. And as we can see, it also works. And then there are some other verses, like 2 or 3 of them, where double bass plays something even jazzier, like this. 'Cause tonight we're gonna rock to the rhythm and blues. The notes here are A, F sharp, B, E, A. And each of these notes is kind of perceived as a root of its own chord. So let's try to play these chords. 'Cause tonight we're gonna rock to the rhythm and blues. So these were minor chords, but let's try to play sevenths and see if it works as well. 'Cause tonight we're gonna rock to the rhythm and blues. Sounds a little bit sharper, more in direction kind of New Orleans jazz, while minor chords are more doo-wop, late 50s kind of stuff. Or we can try to combine major and minor chords, and we will get something like this. 'Cause tonight we're gonna rock to the rhythm and blues. So, as you can see, there are a lot of choices, and actually, if I was playing this song with a band, I would try also to play it differently from verse to verse. But that would, of course, require an agreement with double bass and rhythm guitar players. Now, intro. It goes like this. micro bending here. Now a few details. One of them I have already mentioned, it's micro bending second string here. Then the next notes, it gets interesting. I play them here, second and third strings. Well, a more typical fingering choice would be to play them here. And I believe that's what Sonny Curtis does on his version. But compare this sound to this one. And to my ear, the last one, sounds much more Grady. And as a matter of fact, I think that was one of hidden secrets of Grady Martin's tone. He was quite often employing some very unusual fingering choices. And the next note serves as an evidence of this statement, because here Grady does a playing mistake. Now I have a little bit over-exaggerated it. On the recording, Grady hits, I believe accidentally, open third string. Maybe also together with the muted first string. I hardly could believe he would have made this kind of mistake if he was playing this A note on first string, because then we would also hear open second string. So back here to this lick. That's how it sounds. And again, here the fingering choice is very unusual, but we will get back to this when we will be learning the solo. Now solo starts like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey. Bang, bang. That was the first part. As usual, a couple of details. So these first notes, I play them all on the first string, instead of doing it like this. Again, the sound is a little bit different. Then I have to remind you that Grady's Bixby guitar didn't have upper fret access of a duet jet. And last but not least, I can hear some kind of space between these notes. And when I'm forced to jump with my left hand between this fret and 12th fret, I'm kind of forced to make these short breaks between the notes. Then, after this initial lick, Grady does 3 slides, so first sliding up and then immediately down. And jumps 1 octave lower. And I really believe that this note, this lower A, Grady played it here on 3rd string, because once again compare the sound of this to this. And even if you recall the beginning of the second part of the solo, which goes like this, to remind you. So if you listen to the original recording and compare sound of this note in the beginning of the second part of the solo to this one, you will realize that this one sounds much fatter. And that's why I do believe Grady played it here on third string. Bang, bang. Before bang, bang, watch my right hand. So Grady plays only the first note with his pick. And then bang, bang. Wait. So here we need to get back to my point about making these slides being inconvenient. So this is yet one more evidence Grady played it here in this position and not around 5th fret. Because let's observe how Grady does these slides on the recording. Short slide to 13th fret, pull off, longer slide to 14th fret this time, double stop, short slide to 13th fret, double stop, again the same short slide, and a single note, single E note. Once again, so as I've said before, when we were going through the intro, sliding here and playing this kind of lick is very inconvenient. And I really have a feeling that Grady Martin simply struggled when doing this, and that's why it is somewhat inconsistent. Well, if you compare it to a similar lick Grady plays in the middle of the solo from Johnny Burnett's Drinking Wine Spotty Odie, which he plays simply judging on his sound, Drinking Wine Spotty Odie he plays definitely here in this 5th position, and his playing is much more consistent. Now the second part of the solo. 1, 2, 3. Two, 3. And 1 and 2 and 3. Well, it starts with these slides on second string. But this should not be that precise. In fact, if you listen to the recording, you will hardly be able to tell if these were played using straight rhythm, like I have just played, or if Grady played it in a little bit more syncopated kind of way. In reality, Grady does neither this nor that. He plays something in between. And I would suggest when practicing this lick to start with simply alternating between these two versions like this. And once you get confident, maybe you can try blurring the lines between this and that and get the following. One more thing here is that this slide, once again listen to Grady's playing, you will not be able to say if he slides from here or from here. And once again, in reality, it's something in between, so you can try also the same alternating trick. And maybe introduce a bit of sloppiness. Here, these bands, I have an impression that the first one is has more straight rhythm, and the second one is syncopated. Wa-da-ba-dum, wa-ba-da-pow. With this slide on third string, don't wait, do it as soon as you can. 2, 3. A chromatic line here on lower strings, and once again you can try to play all of this stuff here, but it won't sound the same. So I really believe Grady does it here on starting from 5th string. And 1 and 2 and 3. Slide up, double stop, slide, pull off, low A on 5th string. One more time. But do we cover also Sonny Curtis version of the song? Yes, we do. Yes, true, it doesn't have that much of interesting guitar licks and saxophone licks. Still, it's a hit. Just ask yourself a question: which of these two versions you will be most likely whistling while taking a shower in the morning? Most likely the Sonny Curtis one, simply because it's easier to memorize. Let's check it out. All of you said you're gonna do me right tonight. I'm gonna wear my blue suede shoes tonight and tonight. We're gonna rock around with Ollie Vie, Ollie Vie. Well, for this one, I will have to switch to my bridge pickup so that I can get closer to the sound of Sonny Curtis strat. And it goes like this. The familiar one, now getting down here. And then some finger picking. And the chords here are A in this 5th position, which is E shape of A. No extra notes added. Then E, E7, a part of this shape, but without 5th string, and the bass is on low E. Again, pretty straightforward and simple, no extra notes. And then back to the same A, D with A in the bass, simply like this, and back to A. Now in the first solo, Sonny Curtis goes all the way down to 6th, 5th, 4th strings, and it goes like this. Sorry, I'm slightly out of tune, nevertheless. A little bit of micro bending, then open 4th string, maybe with a touch of adjacent 3rd and 5th strings. like this. And the same finger picking part. And in the verses, Sonny Curtis' guitar is really hidden in the mix, so we don't hear much of it, but I believe he was staying on the same simplistic chords, simplistic major chords, without any extra notes, or without many extra notes, and probably he was playing something like this. A very simple D, the same thing as in the solo. Well, probably the most complicated part that I could hear on the Sonny Curtis version sounds like the following. Which is exactly the intro from another Buddy Holly song, Midnight Shift. But now what about Grady's accompanying parts? Well, I have actually tried to note down each and every Grady's lick from the song. Please check the link to the tabs down below, but take it with a grain of salt. While I'm pretty confident that my transcriptions for intro and solo come pretty close to Grady's playing, I cannot be that much sure about the accompanying parts because, well, those are really hidden, well hidden in the mix. So sometimes I really had to guess, and instead of going through all of my guesswork here, let's discuss maybe a few of the most prominent Grady's licks that he plays during the verses in this song. And I have actually compiled them into one single verse that sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey! Hey! Now let's do it slower. Actually, in the beginning it simply follows chord shapes. For A we have this chord shape, which is a C shape, and the melody simply follows its arpeggio. First with single notes, then with double stops. Then for D, we are moving to this shape, it's E shape, and going to B, the same shape, simply 3 frets down. And then we have this interesting line that Grady plays in each and every, almost in each and every verse before the first solo. So it's based on simply a major scale going down from A, then G sharp, F sharp, E. But then we have some open string magic. The first open E string we can hear when Grady accidentally, or maybe actually intentionally, plucks it when making a pull-off without involvement of his right hand. And then maybe we can hear also a touch of open second string. Sorry? And then one very interesting and cool lick, which is 100% Grady Martin. hammer on, pull off, back to 4th string, again, and once again open E string together with A on 2nd string. And all of these licks, of course, serve as yet one more evidence Grady played it actually here in this position rather than around 5th fret. And now there is yet one more variation of the same A major scale line going down, but 1 octave lower. Grady plays it in many of the verses that come after his solo. And it goes like this. Now slower, and this is really an A major scale going from A down to another A. Oops, a single chromatic note, 5th string, 1st fret, and then A. And that's it. I hope you have found it interesting and informative. Let me know in the comments. And thank you for watching. Bye!